So, I do owe you an apology. And here it is. I'm very sorry. I forgot that this movie is full of fucking disco. I completely forgot.
Horribly full of disco. But at least the movie knows that it's bad.
And I thought when I was watching, I thought, well, at least the main character is shitting on the music for him, so he can at least enjoy that.
That was, I did applaud at the end because I was like, yeah. Then the end credits started, and I went, ugh.
Welcome to Season 4 of Talking Pondo. Talking Pondo is a podcast where Clif and Marty give each other a film to watch and talk about them in detail. Some episodes will include a special guest.
Black Gives Way to Blue will not be seen this week, so we may bring you the following exercise in loneliness. Yes, it's Moonlight and The Martian, two movies about being isolated. This week on Talking Pondo.
That's Marty. I'm Cliff.
Yeah, might as well mix it up. I'm screwing everything.
We're reversing. Yeah, we're reversing the introductions today. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Yeah.
But yes, Moonlight and The Martian. Whew. Yeah, I don't know why. I don't know why we did. I know why I did that to you with The Martian, but I don't know why you did the Moonlight to me.
Because Green Book.
Yeah.
They're both Best Picture winners, and they both have
Mahershala.
Yeah, but I had no idea what this movie was about. I had no clue.
Did Moonlight win Best Picture?
It did. It beat La La Land. Remember?
Oh, that's right.
It was the controversy movie.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I agree with that.
It's weird, huh?
We'll talk about it.
Yeah, but we're back. It's be another upbeat episode of Talking Pondo here. But since we're mixing things backwards and forwards and left and right and up and down, you have viewer mail for us.
Can you believe it? I have viewer mail for us. That's insanity. Anyways, I'm grabbing that right now. Give me just a second. So it is from Isabel Tehran. Good old Izzy. And she says, I say I don't like Hamburger the Motion Picture, but I've seen it 3 times and still laugh at it, even though I know it's terrible. Guess I know what movie Cliff is covering on That's Bodacious, Dude.
Oh.
And the answer is absolutely.
Stay tuned.
Mm-hmm. I have an excellent copy of that, and I cannot wait to talk about it. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, we will both be guests on episodes of That's Bodacious, Dude, hosted by Izzy T. I'm doing the Monkey Shines. I don't know when that's coming out soon. And then Cliff's doing Hamburger because her show is all about the 80s. And we lived through the 80s. So And what year was
Hamburger the Motion Picture? It was 83, I believe.
83. So you're going to have to figure out what type of 80s slang fits Hamburger the Motion Picture. Now, that's a little spoiler alert. Monkey Shines came out in 88, about a month before I met you, actually, strangely enough. And I had to think back, well, what word fit it? And I said, Monkey Shines is rad. Because in 1988, it was rad.
Well, so Hamburger's actually, I was wrong. Hamburger's actually 86.
Oh, boy.
So I should be able to get away with something close like that.
It might actually be bodacious.
I want to say maybe in 86, a lot of us were saying Wicked.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty that's Wicked, because I remember my grandfather would be like, it's not Wicked, it's good. And I'm like, I don't get it.
I remember Wicked appeared around 84, and it hung around for a few years.
Yeah.
A lot of Valley speak became a lot of that slang. Yeah.
Gag me with a spoon. Gag me with a smurf. Mm-hmm. Gag me with a bloody smurf. Gag me, gag me, gag me.
Gag me. Awesome. Totally awesome. All right, Hamilton.
All right, Hamilton.
So,
yes.
Eminem.
Which one do you want to start? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, Eminem. That's
the other M being Monkey Shines, because I watched them all in the same week. The next week is B&B. So,
yeah. Mm-hmm. Interesting. What do you want to do first, Moonlight or The Martian?
Let's defer to the guest. They have flipped the coin, and Rosencrantz has said it's gummed up heads again. So I guess we have to start with The Martian.
The Martian it is. Sounds good. All right, The Martian.
What is this movie that's already so old that I never watched? And then I went, hey, that's Nate from Ted Lasso.
The Martian, 2015, PG-13, 2 hours, 24 minutes. An astronaut stranded on Mars must rely on his ingenuity to survive and arrange a potential rescue.
Spoiler.
Directed by Ridley Scott. Written by Andy Weir, who also just released Project Hail Mary. Starring Matt Damon. And let's see here. Let me get your storyline.
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. During a manned mission to Mars, astronaut Mark Watney is presumed dead after a fierce storm and left behind by his crew. But Watney has survived and finds himself stranded and alone on a hostile planet. With only meager supplies, he must draw upon his ingenuity, wit, and spirit to subsist and find a way to signal to Earth that he is alive. Millions of miles away, NASA and a team of international scientists work tirelessly to bring the Martian home, while his crewmates concurrently plot a daring, if not impossible, rescue mission. As these stories of incredible bravery unfold, the world comes together to root for Watney's safe return.
Yeah, that is all the main beats there, you know.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's a science lesson disguised as a movie.
It's so one of the things that I think a lot of people, when this book came out, I read this book, I'll say starting off and say the book is a fantastic read. Listener, if you like reading books or, you know, movies that are books that are based on movies or so on, this one's going to really stick out to you. I think it's really well written. It's one of those books that you can't kind of put down. You just kind of keep reading it. It's really well written, paced really well. It's pretty true to the book. You know, as far as the, you know, it's they had to cut a few things here and there, you know, a few jokes, a few small things, but just for, you know, time. But it's really well written and really well done. So I think, yeah, it translates really well onto screen.
It's funny that we just watched Space Camp, because this is very much like Space Camp, as in this is what we're going to do in the emergency situations, which is why I say it's like a science lesson disguised as a movie. What happens when this happens? Well, we'll do this. But what if this happens then? Well, then we'll do this.
Yeah.
It's like Marooned, you know, we're trapped in space. Let's get Gene Hackman back to Earth, you know?
Yeah. And my apologies. One of the things that people liked, my apologies, I lost my train of thought there for a second. But one of my things that people liked about this book was that the science is relatively plausible, right? It's science fiction, but the science is relatively what they call hard science, right? Like some of this stuff could possibly be done. He did a lot of checking with people on facts and figures and stuff. You know, that seal that breaks, you know, when he keeps going in and out of that door, and it finally explodes. Like, I love that the movie gives you clues. Like, you keep hearing the alarms and the seals going as he's going in and out, and it doesn't occur to you until it blows off. Like, oh yeah. Yeah. And he figures that out and realizes he's got 3 entryways and he should have been spreading his time out. Right. So, I like that. I think that it's really smart that the book works on the hard sciences of forcing him to try to figure out how is he going to travel to this distant place? How is he going to stay warm? How is he going to feed himself? You know, oh, he's going to farm in his own shit. Well, that's creative. Yikes.
Yeah, those are the best parts of the movie, where he's just like, I'm going to do this and you can't stop me. You know, that was the entertaining part. Yeah.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's, and I don't want to say this in a bad way, it's propaganda. But it's good propaganda because it's supposed to get people interested in space travel and stuff, right? It's to get you hyped up and go, look, we can do this, guys.
It's very optimistic and pro NASA for sure,
yeah.
for sure, yeah. Which so was Space Camp.
Thing. It's a good, and so was Space Camp, right? I think it's a good thing
absolutely.
In that way. But I was like, oh, I see what it's doing, but that's why I think, you know, kind of story-wise and stuff, that wasn't the strongest stuff, but it was all about watching him survive and what do you do? It was like a much more better version of Send Help.
Yeah, or like you said, like Castaway or something, where the guy, you know, and that's in the book. He has this very he's not a defeatist. He's an optimist. He's going to do everything that he can to save himself, and he does, right? And he's also got a great gallows humor. You know, those things he points out where he's like, oh, look, I grew food on Mars, so I've officially colonized Mars. Thank you.
Yep.
The first person to colonize Mars. Look at me. I'm in the history books with that. Oh, by the way, I'm not allowed to take over this spaceship without express written permission, and they can't give me that until I'm on it. So therefore, I'm commandeering a vehicle in international waters. I'm a fucking space pirate.
The very first space pirate. That's the best
brilliant stuff. It's so good. It's so fun. It's so for what has got to be the most dreadful experience for any human being, to be trapped on a goddamn planet so far away by yourself. He really manages to overcome it with a great attitude, and like he says at the end, just getting to it and doing the work. You know, but I like the look of Mars. I think it looks right. You know,
it's way better looking movie than Blade Runner.
It looks so good
because Ridley's has the ability to craft a much slicker movie.
It looks so good. It looks
not to say that Blade Runner doesn't look good, but you see what I mean?
No,
like that was from 40 years ago.
It's a different aesthetic too, you know, and he's had the you know, the benefit of CGI and, you know, roving cameras and
making
drones
Alien.
and all kinds of shit now, making Alien, yeah. But I think the story's pretty compelling. You know, I can't imagine doing surgery on myself after, you know,
yeah, he's a Rambo there.
Yeah, scary stuff. And, you know, there's that scene where he's sealed up the hab and pressurized it, and he's counting all his food, and the storm is hitting the hab, and it's just, you can hear the canvas whacking, and it's just he's almost freezing, going, oh, because he's just waiting for that seal to give away and for him to be sucked out into the Mars atmosphere and be dead in a heartbeat, you know? Like, oh my God. But yeah, I mean, and I also love the thing where he's like, I'm going to dip this potato in crushed Vicodin, and there's nothing anybody can do about this.
Those are the best parts of the movie. That's why you told me not to watch the extended version, and I didn't. And I almost feel like I feel like both today's movies were too long. Yeah.
This one, I think you could have probably peeled a bit from, but
a little bit.
You know,
a lot of it for story, but some of the pacing is like, okay.
I hear you.
Because it's, but that's what it is, though. It's that type of kind of an, you know, actiony type thing. Like 5 minutes into the movie, and I'm fucking already checked out. Because I'm like, it's going to be one of these fucking things. But then once he's there by himself, then it becomes interesting. And then it stays interesting to that whole middle part. And then by the time it's like, okay, can we just fucking rescue him already? And then the movie's over. But I really like the middle of the movie the most. That's the parts we keep
the sort of human story part of it, right?
And I think that's the whole reason it was made, is for those. Everything else is just the set dressing around it. They don't really have a lot of personality. The other people, the Chinese people, have no personality at all. We're not going to bother developing those characters, you know.
Well, I think that's part of it. There's a little more of that in the extended. You get a little more on like Kristen Wiig's character, Chiwetel Ejiofor's character.
Woefully miscast Kristen Wiig. I don't like to rag on actors, but I felt she was really out of place in this movie. Like it seemed like she didn't know what she was doing.
She's supposed to be, in the book, she's sort of a smart-mouthed PR person. She's this smart-mouthed, you know, get her done kind of,
her pacing felt weird.
Independent agent type of woman who works for NASA and does their PR. And so she's got a pretty sharp tongue. And I don't know, I thought maybe they thought Kristen Wiig could carry that, but you're right.
It might be an editing thing more than her performance, you know, because I felt like she'd stop acting and it'd hold on her. And I'm like, shouldn't you be cutting to the other person?
I like the actress who plays Mindy Park. She's the girl who figures out that he's alive on Mars.
Oh, yeah.
She's in a show called *Halt and Catch Fire* as one of the main actresses in that show, and she's fantastic. And it's a great show. I really like it. It only went 3 seasons, but it's about that edge of the 80s. You and I remember where PCs became home computers and became that, you know, right before the internet. You know, that phase where you had the TRS-80s or the whatever computers at the home.
Radio Shack.
Yeah. So
Radio Shack.
So I do owe you an apology. And here it is. I'm very sorry. I forgot that this movie is full of fucking disco. I completely forgot.
Horribly full of disco. But at least the movie knows that it's bad.
And I thought, when I was watching it, I thought, well, at least the main character is shitting on the music for him, so he can at least enjoy that.
That was, you know, I did applaud at the end because I was like, yeah. And then the end credits started, and I went, ugh.
Oh, I even for me, who doesn't really mind disco, I Will Survive is so badly overplayed. Oof.
Hey, look.
But that whole Waterloo sequence, man, I'm watching that and I'm laughing so fucking hard as I'm watching it because I know you are just like you are right now with that face.
I'm like, one star removed immediately.
I felt terrible, but at the same time, I'm like,
hey, you didn't make the
movie. I wanted you to see it.
Exactly. Well, thank you for that, because I'm like, why is he feeding me?
I would never. I you know, look, if it's something I really want you to see and it's disco, I'll make you watch it. But if I know it's kind of bad and it's got I'll avoid it.
Well,
I completely forgot, and I also thought it was more like, I thought it had more stuff like the Happy Days theme song and some other stuff in it that wasn't. I didn't think it was all just like, there's whole sections of fucking ABBA in that movie.
Oh yeah, and
it's like a concert.
It makes me realize, like, oh, you spent all this money on everything, but you got what is probably, I guess, the cheapest music to license on the fucking planet. Because you see this shit show up in so many movies and TV shows that I'm guessing ABBA and some of this other stuff must be easy to work with and easy to license and not cost very much. This just keeps popping up over and over again. I can't fucking escape the shit. It's like you spend all your money and like, oh, we got like $2 left for music. Well, I know it costs more than that,
obviously. I do like the Hot Stuff needle drop. I'll say this:
is that responsible for Hot Stuff being the temp track in our movie? I thought it might be. Yeah.
Yes. It was. Yes.
That was before. That was really new when we shot that.
It was. Yeah. And I do think it's probably one of the funnier uses because he's got that radioactive thing behind him and it's making the fucking cab really hot.
Does he say this is the least worst song in their catalog?
This is the least worst song and it's Hot Stuff. Yeah. So speaking of odd casting, I thought Donald Glover was oddly cast also.
Yeah, I almost didn't realize that's who that
was. I was like, okay. It just, sure, I guess. It just didn't, he didn't.
I don't think
it didn't seem like he had a full handle on the part or something. It was weird. I'm not trying to rag on him. It was just a weird performance.
I think Ridley Scott is not an actor's director. I think he's more focused on everything else. He comes from the world of commercials originally, and so it's all about what it looks like, and the acting is like secondary, is how I felt.
That would make sense why he's churning them fucking out one after the other after the other. It makes sense. Like this dude Ridley has hit like an assembly line chain in the last 20 years where he's just like, every 6 months, every 6 to 12 months, here's a new one. Here you go. Napoleon, it bombed. Well, keep going. Here you go. How about that? Bond. Oh, good. Keep going. Oh, that was a hit. That was a hit. He's just, it's crazy.
Yeah, I feel that this movie and the other movie today, and a lot of the movies from the last 10 or 15 years, all share kind of the same thing. In so much as The Martian is the perfect example of it's everything that's right with movies nowadays and everything that's wrong with movies nowadays. Because as we've discovered going through a lot of these critically acclaimed films from the last 10 or 15 years, I watch them and I go, man, they're acting the shit out of this. But where's everything else? Then while it's back in the day, you'd have more of the craft was harder to make the movies. And so every aspect of the movie had to be worked on a lot more. And I feel like some of those older movies are more durable. And now it seems like there's little shortcuts that are taken. And it's like and it's become just an acting medium. But The Martian, outside of Matt Damon, really doesn't have a whole lot of intense, strong acting in it.
No, to be fair, he's on 70% of the time, right?
Yeah. What I mean is the modern movies that are good, they'll have a couple aspects that are just amazing in it. but not the entire movie being amazing. Only a few things, and most of the time it's usually the acting in these modern films that's the awesome part for me anyway. This one, it's like the technical aspect of it was the awesome part, I thought.
I think I think that there are still movies that are made that are, from fade in to fade out, just amazing, right? Those are still being made.
But these Oscar bait films, these Best Picture winners and stuff, and those overly critically acclaimed, I'm having trouble finding ones. Even like I loved American Fiction, but I still know that there's only parts of it that are great.
I think that the format is sort of shifted to this. The Martian is supposed to be an epic, right? It's supposed to be a massive sweeping tale. It's got to be 230 because it's a 5-act. It's not a 3-act movie. It's a 5-act movie. Beginning in space, lost on the thing, rebuild, travel to the thing, regroup with the crew. That's 5 acts, right? And that's just how it's made. So in I think that people like you and I who grew up in the 80s with taught 3-act fucking badass movies everywhere, and there were some 5-act big long ones, Amadeus and shit like that. But for the most part, those were usually the big theatrical pieces, like you said, Oscar swings, going for that Oscar film. And what we saw in the cinema constantly was 90 minutes to an hour 45, hour 50 of just badassedness where, like you said, scene after scene is firing.
Even the cheap movies, they had to work their craft on every aspect because there was no shortcuts. Yeah.
And here's what I'll say. Here's the other thing. As an audience, I remember that we were kind of fucking spoiled because there was so much good going around that we would just literally throw shit away. Where we're like, meh, it doesn't work exactly. Boom. And now those movies, a lot of those movies are having a renaissance, and you go back and look at them and go, I really didn't give this its fair shake, because in the 80s, if it wasn't 9s or 10s or 8s, people weren't watching that shit. Those things ran to cable and ran to the VHS stores because that's where they were going to make their money.
Yeah, I think eventually we'll get back to
weird.
That. Yeah, I think
I think so.
It'll come around to where it's like, okay, now we can do all the innovation. I think this horror surge is helping. The craft,
I think this horror surge is helping. I was telling somebody the other day, I don't remember another horror surge like this since the 80s. Where it's just where they're just hitting the mainstream one after the other after the other.
Late 90s.
Okay.
Because that leads to our favorites, The Ring and Paranormal Activity and all that good stuff. But it's funny you bring that up, because if you're attuned to this type of movie, it's probably amazing for you. Which is the same reason I like Scream 7 so much, because I like that formula. Well, if you like the space formula, then you're probably going to love that too. But I can still look at this one and go, well, it's still a really good movie, though.
This fucker plays on, like, I go to my dad's for, Thanksgiving or whatever, and he's got YouTube TV. And this fucker's on TNT and, whatever other channel constantly.
This is your My Cousin Vinny throw it on.
You can, exactly.
I think this works even better.
Huge family picture because it's so optimistic, and it's got like a 91% rating, a popcorn and tomato rating on Rotten Tomatoes. It's pretty universally agreed that it's pretty well made and pretty well liked. I'm sure that there are people who, again, I'm not pointing fingers, but I'm sure that there are people out there who are like, not for me. I get it.
Oh, that's for everything. Yeah.
But it is one of those films that's like you said, it's like, you can hate aspects of it or parts, but it's so well made and it's pretty well written. And Matt Damon's really acting the fuck out of that movie for the most part. He's really on point. You can pick around the edges of it, I guess, but or like you said, it might not be for you. I think my favorite part is the David Bowie Starman needle drop, which is not disco. It's not disco.
It's too on the nose.
Oh, come on!
I'm sitting here groaning like, really? Okay, didn't see that coming.
I'll never complain about a Bowie tune in any film. So.
It was a nice relief from some of the other music, but I'm like, really?
What the fuck are you bitching about?
We're going to space and we're playing the space thing. Okay.
I mean, it could have been fucking, what did you want on Project Hail Mary where they're heading towards the sun, put some Smash Mouth on, walking on the sun or something?
Do they do that? I blame Marvel movies for this. That's Guardians of the Galaxy's fault.
Well, then you can't blame Guardians of the Marvel. You got to blame James Gunn.
All right, then we'll blame the author of Toxic Avenger Part 4 for it, James Gunn.
Yeah, right. James Gunn. Congratulations, James.
Never forget your origins, James Gunn. I remember you in that movie, and you're hilarious in it.
Getting a little high up in your tree there, aren't you, Mr. Gunn? Maybe we'll come back down to earth, touch some grass with us, Mr. Gunn.
Mm-hmm. He can't. The Martian. It's a very good name. It's an excellent title for the movie. He never once refers to himself as the Martian. Nobody else ever does, but it's such a perfect title for the movie because he is the Martian.
Literally. I don't think I have anything else to say about it. I do have one other thing. Shitload of montages in this movie.
Yeah.
Like a shitload of montages. But again, if you listen to him,
I'm spinning around.
If you listen to him talk about how, especially during like the travel portion where he's moving with that rover, he said he's traveling like 2,700 kilometers. I mean, that's really far. That's not. I mean, it's a long trek. That's weeks and weeks out there, you know. So I guess to Ridley's like, well, you know, I'll have to kind of move it along. And there is one interesting part of the book that they cut out of the movie, and they kind of infer it to a certain extent. But you know that when he drills holes in the top of the rover, right, and then they knock the roof out, but then you see that balloon that they blow up and it pops, right? So I think that's a reference to, in the book, right before he's going to go on this long journey, he's like, there's no way I'm going to be able to stay stuck in this rover in this spacesuit for like 40 days as we're traveling, or however long it is, because it's weeks. He's like, I'm going to have to take this thing off at some point. And the rover's small. He can't really, it's not like he can get up and move around in it, right? It's a vehicle to move a few people in.
Yeah.
So but he's got a trailer that he's hauling with him, and it's connected to the rover, and he can go kind of back into that a little bit, right, or something. Anyway, what he does is he knocks out he creates a connection on a tube, like one of the seals on the rover, right? And he makes this thing that connects to it, and it's like a pop-up tent. And so what he does is at night when he's ready to go to, you know, kind of relax or whatever, or take the suit off, he connects this thing to this seal, and it pressurizes, and it, due to the rover's air pressure, and it pops open and gives him like it's like almost big enough like a jail cell for him to kind of stand up and walk around in and take the suit off and all that. So I was like, when I read the book, I was like, I wonder how they're going to do that in the movie, where they were like, oh, we're not going to. Yep. We're just going to leave him in the suit forever. Yeah.
Well, NASA, I hope you're listening. When you go to Mars, take way more supplies than you thought you were going to need. Find the Pathfinder, activate it immediately. You know, there's all these things that you can do now because you have a plan.
I wonder if NASA's like, from here on out, we're going to pack just a few vegetables just in case anybody ever has to farm in their poop.
You know,
that way, a little seed bank, you know, that way he's got a little asparagus, a little broccoli and potato. And, you know.
Don't send people with the bare minimum.
No. Yeah. Send some spices and herbs with them, you know?
Exactly.
Well, that's the other great line where he
ran out of ketchup.
Yeah, it's been 7 days since I ran out of ketchup. All I could think of was like,
dry potato.
Oof. Speaking of which, did you read about Kevin Smith and that potato thing?
Yeah, that came up on my feed too. But
yeah,
if long-term Howard Stern fans remember that he would have Gary Delabate bring him a baked potato for lunch every day. So I guess Howard was doing that shit years before it was popular.
Interesting. Well, but wasn't Howard putting something on it? Wasn't Howard putting like butter and shit on it?
Just plain. That was back when he was having his weight issues as well. But apparently, what was the story? You eat potatoes all the time, and it resets you.
Yeah, you get tired of it. Like you get tired of food. It becomes like a reset where you're like, I don't like eating anymore, type of thing. Where it allowed him to kind of quit the whole overconsumption.
Well,
so I thought it was interesting.
To quote Deathstalker 3, potatoes are what we eat.
Potatoes, precious. Anyway.
I can catch you a rabbit. A rabbit? Potatoes are what we eat.
So what do you give it? This is going to be good.
Okay. 2.5.
2.5?
Yeah, 1 star off for ABBA. And then another half star off for I Will Survive. You can't do that to me, movie. You can't.
So that's 3.5. 1.5 stars. 1 star off minus
I would have been at
stars,
a 4.
3.5. Oh, you would have been at a 4. Okay.
So if and so in a way you can see that I'm running the gambit, but personally, 2.5. That's what I gave that Blade Runner too. I must not be too keen on Ridley Scott in my old age.
Interesting. I've seen this movie 15 times easily. I like Mark's cheerfulness. I like the story. I don't mind the disco, and I never have. It's a little, like I said, I Will Survive is one of the most.
You remind me of the Replacements, and I hate this damn song.
Oh man, it's so bad. Yeah, no, it was not exactly. Every time that scene comes up in the Replacements, I just hit the fucking next scene button. I don't want to watch Keanu dance to that shit. It's terrible.
Must be cheap to license, man. It must
I guess, man. I guess. So anyways, but other than that, I think it's a really well done movie. I do think for the most part that what's her name? Why can't I remember the captain? Her name.
Oh yeah, Jessica Chastain.
Jessica Chastain. I think she's kind of underused. She's a really good actress who normally carries movies, and she's kind of just in it for about 20 or 25 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, she got a massive payday, and of course, this thing was a massive summer blockbuster, so I get why she'd take the role, but at the same time, she's kind of underused. But again, anybody wanting to do this movie, especially in Matt Damon's part, would just be like, I'm on the screen by myself for 60% of this movie. Yep. Hell yeah,
I'm gonna go full Iron Man.
I'm gonna go full Iron Man.
You're Ant-Man's buddy. Well,
anyway, I give it 4 stars. Yeah. I think it's really, really well made. It's a lot of fun, and I think it's a modern classic. I think it's going to stick around for years.
I'd be right there with you, but if we're doing an extra star for Joey Pants and an extra star for the Tooch, then I can take a star off for ABBA.
You took 1.5 stars off.
Well, I Will Survive. And I will survive.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Well, that leads us to Moonlight.
Moonlight. Talk all about the acting again. What is Moonlight? Because I didn't know anything about it.
Moonlight,
not
2016.
A damn thing.
Moonlight, 2016, rated R, 1 hour, 51 minutes. A young African-American man grapples with his identity and sexuality while experiencing the everyday struggles of childhood, adolescence, and burgeoning adulthood. Directed and written by Barry Jenkins, stars Mahershala Ali.
I'm not telling you stuff in that synopsis.
Well, it will in the storyline. 3 time periods. Yeah. 3 time periods: young adolescence, mid-teen, and young adult in the life of Black American Chiron is presented. When a child, Chiron lives with his single crack-addicted mother, Paula, in a crime-ridden neighborhood in Miami. Chiron is a shy, withdrawn child, largely due to his small size and being neglected by his mother, who's more concerned about getting her fixes and satisfying her carnal needs than taking care of them. Because of these issues, he's bullied. He's bullied. The slurs are hurled at him, which he doesn't understand beyond knowing that they're meant to be hurtful. And besides his same-age Cuban-American friend, Kevin, Chiron is given what little guidance he has in life from a neighborhood drug dealer named Juan, who can see that he is neglected, and Juan's caring girlfriend, Teresa, whose home acts as a sanctuary away from the bullies and away from Paula's abuse. With this childhood as a foundation, Chiron may have a predetermined path in life, one that will only be magnified in terms of its problems when he reaches these difficult teen years and when peer pressure affects what he and many of his peers do, unless he follows Juan's advice of truly making his own decisions for himself.
Why won't they tell us this isn't a movie about gay people? Why won't they say that?
I don't know.
That's such an important theme, and they hide it. I guess maybe they're thinking people won't watch it or something. But it
says it's dealing with his sexuality, and I think that that
when you put in, okay, because I thought it was just saying he was
the log
having
line
issues, and I'm like, well, this is a little more than that.
No, the log line says he's grappling with his sexuality, which implies he's trying to figure out where he is in life with it.
So where to begin? Well, I guess since the movie's cut into thirds, and normally I would have such an issue with the chapter 1 thing, but I thought this movie was very well structured. I thought its pace was good because you get like 45 minutes, 45 minutes, 45 minutes approximately of each third. I don't really think they needed to put the 1, 2, 3 because it's obvious it's a different time period, but I did like how they broke it up. I thought that was good.
What? You hate that stuff.
Well, like I said, I don't like that chapter mark. They don't need to have that in there, but it was fine because it was just, it wasn't chapter 1. It was like 1, this, 2, this. And I'm like, okay, fine. If you need that, at least it's subtle, but I still appreciated the way that they broke up the different parts of the story kind of equally. I thought his pacing was good, even if it was a little long. And also, I'm not a fan of shaky cam. Grab a fucking tripod. You got to have consideration for your audience who might be motion sick, and we might not be able to watch the movie. I don't know why they do that.
But I mean, there are times when you need the shaky cam to indicate the stress or the.
Well, there's ways to do it that don't make me want to throw up.
I
mean, it's not Blair Witch Project, but there's some parts in the beginning, especially where I'm just like, oh my God, I had to look away from the screen. Just like, please stop spinning. Stop. It's like that scene in Carrie where they're just spinning around at the problem. I'm like, oh my God. No.
You didn't have a problem with the spinning in Straight Time? That's weird.
Straight Time? Because the Dolly Parton movie?
No, sorry, Running Time, right?
Because that one, it's weird. It's not the same.
Okay.
It's
okay.
Straight Time. I don't know what.
No, Straight Time with Dustin Hoffman, dude.
It's not a personal preference. Does it trigger the motion sick or not?
I got you. Like a certain sequence alliance trigger fitters. Okay, all right, gotcha. So for me, you remember that. I found this kind of a weird movie because it threw me.
It is a weird movie.
Like I knew nothing about it, like you. The boy being chased at the very beginning that ends with Mahershala Ali ripping down the plywood. That's a great scene. But it almost feels like a flashback. It felt like Mahershala breaking in on himself, right, and saving himself. I felt like it was metaphoric.
And it's true in a way because he then kind of turn into
it is, and he does. But I thought there was I really thought that this was going to be about Mahershala being young and then middle and then so on, and it wasn't. He's in this movie for 15 minutes and then he's gone.
And then he's gone. And he's the best part of the movie too.
He's the best part of the movie. He's the best part of the movie.
It's like Green Book where Vigo disappeared. He disappears into the character.
He's so good.
I almost didn't even know it was him. He's so different than his character of Don when he's playing Juan. Wait a minute.
No kidding. He's that's a world class. He's a world class actor, man.
Yeah.
I would gladly cast him in anything that I was making in a heartbeat for damn near any role he wanted to play.
But he's
awesome.
It's kind of Arrival-esque where you think, is this like a flash? Is he looking back on his life?
That's what I meant. Yeah. That's what I meant. Yeah. And so, but then we realize, oh no, this is this little boy, and my favorite moment in the movie, and of course it carries that theme throughout the film, is in the moonlight, all black boys look blue. And I thought, oh, that's beautiful.
Oh, there's some great dialogue. Like what was the line about I cry so much I'm going to turn into the drop and go into the ocean or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And then it's even more when you get to the second part and you find out that Juan died somehow. And it's just like, it just takes the wind out of you because he's such a strong character. The movie was in a way very reminiscent of Boyhood. Even though they didn't spend 12 years to make it, they did manage to convey the passage of time very well, like how the Boyhood movie did too.
Yeah, I completely agree with you. I haven't seen Boyhood. Okay. So, that will probably I'll probably end up watching that here relatively soon. But I understand what it is and what it did, and so and I kind of agree. This is it also reminds me of like I wanted to say like a Rashomon, but it's not because it's not told from different perspectives. But it is these 3 different slices of the same person's life that I really enjoyed.
But who would ever thought that somebody would mix Boys in the Hood and Brokeback Mountain together? But they did.
I think, and here's the thing.
Did.
I have a note that I feel like I've seen this theme in this movie before. It wasn't a surprise to me. I wasn't like, oh, this is a brilliant thematic leap as a filmmaker or a director. I went, yeah, I'm pretty sure I've seen something like this before, but I don't think I've seen it this well done.
Yeah,
where there's an artistry and a like we just talked about, the dialogue and some, just my God, dude, some of the lighting in it is so much like La La Land, where it's just like, Jesus Christ, is this the same cinematographer? Because good Lord. And while I still think La La Land should have won because it's just sheer, just sheer balls of going for it.
But this is the movie they give the Oscar to, right?
And I understand why the why the Oscar wants to give Oscars to movies like this. I really do. It's well done. It's well made. At one point in the early beginning of this, I'm like, please don't let this boy being groomed, right, by this drug dealer. Because it felt in the beginning a little kind of weird that way. And then I realized that's just the paranoia of modern times, right? Whereas, but like back then it would have
what's going to happen, and then it doesn't. So
it's just feeding into everything.
To him. I'm glad we watched American Fiction before this, because there's so many tropes, especially in the first part of this, that it's like, is that what this is almost reactionary to? But yet, like he said, I'm not saying those stories shouldn't be told. And this is a version of telling it very well, but it's not quite the book fuck. But there are some elements in there. You got your cracked out mama and, a lot of these things, but it does really good things with it.
But it also does, they
flip it.
They flip it, and they're also not dwelling in it, right? It's not like Precious, where it's just
set it up.
It's not like Precious, where it's just this poor victim who's being screamed at and can't do anything with her life and shit. And like, yeah, he comes home and he has to deal with his mom at certain points, but that's maybe 5 to 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Just to set the impact of what his home life is like.
But like you said, is it going to be this? I hope not. Yeah. And then it's not.
Exactly.
And you're going, oh, thank you. Thank you for not being that. Yeah.
One of my notes is this movie, just when I think it wanders into being trite or formulaic, it digs deep and finds true emotion. Like you were saying, you've got all these kind of things that are in these sort of Boys in the Hood type of movies and that type of thing. But it goes a step further and then finds that true emotion. When he fucking goes into that school and just grabs that chair and busts that dude upside the fucking head, I was just like, damn. That was the moment where he decided he was not going to be that victim anymore, right? Like, it's over. You're going to kill me or I'm going to kill you. And you could see it. I mean, they had to drag him away from that kid.
That teacher or the nurse, and be all, and he's like, you don't understand anything.
You don't get shit. You don't understand anything.
And he tunes.
We live in 2 separate fucking worlds.
Yeah. Yeah, that's some powerful stuff. Yeah.
Like and subscribe.
I also like that it's very refreshing that it has a positive look on pot and a negative look on tweaking. It shows the difference from so many movies like to lump all drugs together as one thing. This movie shows the difference. And you think, oh, he's going to get him high for the first time. And he's like, man, my mom's had stuff all around for it. And you're like, oh, he's used to this. And it's like, that's another thing where you think it's going to go one way, and then it goes another,
So one of the things that one of the questions that I wasn't answered for me, and maybe I missed it, was, why the fuck does Mahershala Ali care, right? Other than the possible metaphor at the beginning of the movie where he's kind of saving himself, but he's not, because he's not a gay kid. Why does he care? Did he have a gay brother at one point? Like, well, what does he care about another hood kid that's out there on the streets? He's a gangbanger. He's got a good life. He's got why this kid? Why does he care? The movie just didn't answer that for me.
Well, it's in that line about Black Boys Are Blue in the Moonlight, when he used to be running in Cuba and up to no good, and that woman stopped him, and then he had a bit of a change, right?
Mm-hmm,
and I think he sees this
that's
kid, and
okay.
he
Maybe I
realizes
just
this
didn't put
kid
that
has nobody,
together.
and there's something in him that he realizes. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna be my kid's dad now," and he's just like, "I'm just trying to help."
I wish there'd been I wish they dug on that just a touch more. I wanted just a little bit more from Mahershala to that kid, or to even Janelle Monáe, who is so fucking gorgeous in this movie in general, just a gorgeous woman. But I wish she'd had a little bit more to do, and it would have been great to see a scene between the two of them where she asks him why he cares, or they talk about this.
And maybe
kid,
there was something they
maybe there was, and they cut it out. Yeah, a good point. Yeah,
it's funny how it does relate to Green Book, because the character in that movie was the gay black man as well, and so you see that struggle happen again in a different light. And as we've always heard, that being gay in the black community apparently is not easy, and it's not well accepted, is what I've always heard.
No, it's not. It's not any. It's probably pretty bad. I honestly, from what I've heard, I don't know. I haven't lived that experience, so I won't speak to it. But
a white guy.
From what I've read, it ain't easy.
No. I don't think this movie understands women very much. Those characters are kind of underwritten, but that's not really what this movie's about.
It's not really what that movie's about. Yeah. And here's what I'll say. I really truly despise his mother. I don't buy the whole, oh, I'm clean and sober, and now I get to tell you what to do with your life.
That's why he was still holding all, because he's like, no, I'm glad you're trying to do something, but no. It's been
and he should let go. He should let go, and he should try to be his own person, and so on. Right? I don't hate her, but I hate this idea that somehow that you didn't do your job as a parent, then later on in life you want to have a say in your child's thing. Like, no. Fuck off.
It's too late. I'm a grown ass.
I'm a grown ass man.
I don't even live here anymore.
Yep.
I'm out trapping, which I had to look up what that slang meant, and it just meant doing all that,
doing all that drug business,
all that stuff. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anytime anybody, here's what I'll say to anyone who is ever in a group with a bunch of people stomped on somebody after they've gone down in a fight, you are literally just shit on someone's shoe. I would like you to know that personally. It's a shit thing to do.
If two people want to fight, hate crime happens in the middle of that
awful.
Movie. Yeah.
Two people want to fight, stand back, let them handle the business or whatever, and keep them from killing each other, for God's sake. But 6 people on one is that's coward. Her name, Aphrodisia. She only come out at night.
Yeah, it's a little almost tropey in ways, but they present you something you haven't seen before.
That's what I'm saying.
It's heartbreaking that the person that he's in love with now has to beat him up, which caused the catalyst to him break the chair, goes to juvie, and yet somehow later in life they manage to reconnect.
The worst part of that for me is the at the end where he looks at him and says, "You're the only man who's ever touched me." And I thought, good fucking God, this guy has lived a complete life of loneliness. One moment. Other than that, he's done nothing but just live I mean, what do you do? You go home, you watch movies, play video games, you go to sleep. You don't have anybody that you talk to. You don't have anybody that you're with. That's awful.
And yet, one of the reviews I read, because I sometimes like to see, okay, who's hating on this?
You do.
And the people who are hating on it just don't want to see an LGBTQ film.
Yeah, absolutely.
But there was one interesting review that was a half star that said something like, nothing that the last 20 years of gay black cinema hasn't already shown me. And I went, oh, is this mainstream once again finally doing a version of something that's already existed in indie film? It's a good thing, because people aren't being seen this, usually.
This is what I'm saying. It's not something, I don't find this groundbreaking. I find it very well handled,
it's well made. Yeah.
And but I mean, it's not pushing any boundaries. It's again really well made. It's a character study.
Yeah.
And it's a really well done character study. It just happens to be about a black guy who's a drug dealer. could have been anything. There's tons of character studies out there, and it's just a really well made one.
And once again,
emotional as fuck.
The best part is the acting, especially Mahershala in the beginning, just acting the shit out of it. And it's just like, oh, I do wish he was in more of the movie, but it's more poignant that it's like, oh, because if he was, maybe this, the kid wouldn't have had the same path. But he didn't have that.
He would have stopped that kid. He probably would have stopped that kid going back into that school and with that chair, or maybe he wouldn't have. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Right? Could have ended up the same way. Yeah.
I have a note that says, the guilt, the unwanted and unfair guilt that this kid lives with is just that his mother heaps upon him is just not, it's not fair. And so well illustrated in the film. And again, I love the color of the movie. I don't think I've ever seen a film where black people look so gorgeous on film ever.
That's true. Because sometimes we've seen some movies where it's like they don't know how to light it, and it's wrong. But here, the lighting is perfect for it.
Richly lit. Everybody looks gorgeous. Everybody, even the kid who's kicking the shit out of this kid, looks great. Everybody's just perfectly lit, make-upped. Really, really nice. Really, really nice. Let's see. It does at points kind of, I feel like it loses its pace at times. At the end, the reconciliation with the guy is a little slow. But I also understand that if you rush it, it feels artificial.
Yeah.
You need to give it space to breathe.
Mm-hmm. If they had rushed through that would have felt weird.
Yeah,
too. Yeah,
totally. But at that point in the film, it's like, okay, I'm ready. Like this is hour 40, hour 50. I'm ready to kind of have it end. But I also wouldn't say, like, I couldn't point to anything immediately and say, cut that out of the film.
It's true. And then you realize, oh, it's not even 2 hours. It's under. Yet it does still feel like it overstays its welcome a little bit, but
a little bit. That's what I'm trying to say. Yeah, but I also can't pinpoint where it does that.
What could you cut?
Yeah, because it's really pretty well made. I think possibly you could tighten up the beginning a little bit, maybe the middle here and there. But it would be like a series of small cuts. It wouldn't be a whole scene.
Yeah, because it's got that equal length for each part of his life. Like Boyhood was shot over like 12 years,
right,
in 12-minute chunks. So you get 12 minutes, 12 minutes, 12 minutes, and on and on. And this is kind of like, 45, 45, 45. And I really appreciated the passage of time. It's hard to do that artificially. That's why I like Boyhood so much, because that really is the past. It's happening in the past. You're not setting to make it look like that's the time they shot it during. And this movie's kind of eerily timeless in a way. Like, is the beginning the 80s, the 90s, the now? They stay away from a lot of that stuff, right?
Yep.
I mean, what year did they have cell phones in the first part of the movie? Because I know he has a cell phone at the end, but
I don't know. But I mean, one of the great things about that film is that the way that it's shot, it doesn't really give you a lot of time to worry about that.
Yeah,
you're so busy with the film and so busy with the characters that you're not really worried, or you're not looking going, is that a fucking ColecoVision or not?
Yeah, it's like these people
and the film's not providing any of that. The film's pulling all that away to say, look, it's just a generic background. This is just a tenement row house where he lives in a Section 8 housing with rows of them.
Exactly. It's just like these people on social media who I'm guessing have just discovered Friday the 13th movies and are like, why didn't Jason smash the window instead of doing the thing? It's because you're thinking too hard.
I'm thinking way too hard.
You can't rewrite the movie.
No, you're thinking way too fucking hard on that shit.
Why did Jason stab the pitchfork through the top when he could have just broke through the window? Because the script? Because it's scarier that way? I don't know. That's why you don't worry about if it's a ColecoVision or if he has a Square TV, because they're in poverty, right?
Right.
But yeah, I started this movie. I'm like, oh, it's gonna be like some gangbanger thing, right? Boy, did it take a turn. But it keeps you guessing. So
I knew it was about a kid grappling with his sexuality. I just didn't expect it to be what it was.
Mm-hmm.
And again, it's really well made.
Mm-hmm.
I think Barry Jenkins wrote and directed a really good film. I
don't think I've seen anything else he's done.
Me either. But these types of things can go wrong pretty quickly.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't handle that type of subject matter properly, and he does a very, very good job with it.
Yeah. And don't watch this movie when you're having emotional issues or detoxing or maybe do. Maybe it helps. I don't know.
Oh my goodness! You got any other notes on it?
But if I had watched The Martian first, then I would have had to watch Moonlight while I was recovering. Maybe that would have been worse. So no, I don't have any more notes on it.
No.
I did enjoy it. I don't think I need to watch it again.
It's not something I'm going to watch again.
Because you really get a lot out of it the first time. But I also feel like if I did watch it again, maybe I might pick up some more subtext. Maybe there might be a thing of why Juan wants to care for the kid that I didn't catch because I was just trying to follow the story first time, perhaps. Or
Yep. It's possible. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. What do you give it then?
I'm gonna give it 3.5.
3.5? Okay. I'm going to go 4 again.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like this and The Martian are kind of on the same level, but just completely polar opposite ends of the spectrum.
And yet they're both about being isolated. And
ain't that the truth? That's an interesting. Hey, there's your connection.
Yeah. It's, The Martian and the Moonlight.
One is self-isolation and one is imposed isolation.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Yeah. Interesting. That's an interesting take, man.
It's so weird how these things line up like that sometimes.
4 stars. All right. Well, 4 stars it is, man.
All right. So, wow. That's another one done there.
Are we announcing our next picks?
Yeah, we'll give each other our next no guest episode pick.
Okay. I was looking for my phone, and here it is because I have your list on there. Do you know which one you want from? You want to go first?
Let's see here real quick, doing the thing, and if this one comes out, then that means next week is a guest, then a guest,
I'm gonna cut all this out anyways.
Then a guest. He always says that, but he never does.
I'm gonna cut all this out.
And then we'll be back in about 3 weeks with this episode that we're about to announce now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Look at this here. What is this?
Go ahead, look at it.
Oh, you want an old one or a new one?
I want a new one.
Do you want one that has more to do with this movie or more to do with an older movie? Well, it's a hard call here. Which one do we do? You know what? Boyhood. I figured as much. Why not? It's a good tee up for it now. Let's do that one. Yeah. We'll go back to some link later here.
In that case, I'm going to give you the companion film to this. And I'll give you Project Hail Mary.
Oh, see? There we go.
Mm-hmm.
Good. Doing some brand new releases here.
Yeah. And I think after that, if you ask me again, I'll be like, yeah, throw some of that old stuff at me. I think I'm
we'll bounce it up because I want to be able to give you some option, because I want you to be like, oh, I wanted a new movie. Well, then I'm like, I always have so many choices that it's like we can go see which way we go here with this. They're putting Boyhood back in the theaters this year briefly, which is strange, but when you watch it, I know it's a long movie. If you can, try to watch it as much in one continuous stretch. I think it's more impactful if you don't break it up because the whole point is
going to the next movie. Yeah.
Because I know
the only time I do that is
movie you have to pause it.
Yeah, if it's I broke The Martian up because I've seen it 15 times. But if it's a brand new movie, I always watch it from beginning to end because I don't want to do that. So I'll definitely watch it from beginning.
Because because for me anyway, you get to the end of all that and it's just like whoa. But some people don't like that movie, so it'll be fun to discuss those two.
Yep.
I've been putting that in my back pocket for a long time.
That'll be in a while though, because we've got guests
that's almost a month from now, because we got a bunch of cool guest shit coming up.
Our
next episode is another alliterative, right? Where both movies start with the letter B. So tune in next week for that.
That'll be fun. You want to get out of here on a quote?
You have terrible taste in music. And that's when I just applaud it, man. I'm like, thank you. You understand yourself. Maybe I'll give it another star on the recap, right?
Fuck you, Mars. Later, man.
Later. Don't miss an episode. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel, give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts, and keep listening to the show on the app of your choice. Do it now.